Hey guys, it's Mason from Tasting Anarchy. This is a quick mini episode from Jake. He's always got something fun and interesting to say, so take a listen.
Tasting Anarchy, your wine and liberty podcast. Join Mason and Jake each week as they try new wines and discover how much government is in your drink. Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've been able to do one of these solo mini episodes, but I'm trying to get back into the groove of things and thought that one of the wines that I had recently would be both topical because of a recent episode, and also it was just such a good wine I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about it. And the wine is Trilogy Cellars Reserve Malbec. It's 2016. It's from the Texas High Plains, Hockley County in particular, 13.5% alcohol by volume. I gotta tell you, this is probably one of the most outstanding Texas wines that I've had. I don't think I've ever had a Texas Malbec before, maybe in a blend, but I don't recall just straight Malbec. But this one is really good. I'm really happy that I ordered 3 because they don't have the 2016 available anymore. Let me go ahead and get into the review. The color of it, very beautiful garnet. Its smell is extremely fruity up front. It does have some floral notes on the back end and a little bit of alcohol effervescence, but I did let it sit out for a while and it ended up the alcohol kind of cleared off and it just is very full, fruity bouquet. The taste is very fruity, particularly black cherry and blackberry. It's a little bit tannic, but not like overly tannic, not like a lip smacking Cab Sauv. It's just more tannic, like along the lines of maybe a Cab Franc. It's not nearly as tannic as a Cab Sauv. But it's very, very good, very grippy enough that it's satisfying if you like tannic wines. It's a little hot on the throat, but I tend to like that. And there's also some really pleasant black pepper flavor, like a little spice to it. So I think it's a very high quality wine. I don't want to say high quality wine for Texas because as I've been trying more and more Texas wines, there are a lot of high quality wines, but this is probably amongst the most high quality that I've had. It's super good. This is actually the reason that I said this is topical is because this is using grapes from Rowdy Bolen's vineyard. And Rowdy, you can hear him on episode 76 where he talks about what it's like to grow grapes in the Texas High Plains. And we just, spend some time together talking about Texas wine and Texas grape growing. And it was a really, really good episode and it inspired me to go, seek this out. He said this one is available with his grapes in it. And it's also, there's some other people's grapes in it too. And I'll get to that in a second. There was also another one that he gave me and I haven't actually tracked that down yet, but I want to get that as well because I think he said it had his Merlot in it. And speaking of his Merlot, I also got from Trinity the Merlot from 2016, which is his Merlot grapes. And that's still available on their website. Again, let me get into that a little bit more in a minute, but let me go ahead and tell you what was on the bottle. So on the bottle, it says limited bottling, 187 cases produced. For those of you who don't know how much is in a case, that's 12 bottles of wine. So that's only 2,244 bottles were produced. So this is the quote on the back. Trilogy Cellars is the joining of 3 families committed to growing high-quality grapes from some of the finest wines in Texas. Each family vineyard is located in Hockley County, just west of Lubbock, in the Texas High Plains AVA. The high desert elevation and sandy terroir at each vineyard is different, providing unique characteristics with each wine produced. Please join the Bolen, Hill, and Newsom families in a toast to fine Texas wines. So that was what I was kind of hinting at, was that this isn't only his grapes. This has also got the Hill family and the Newsom family mixed in with it. And it makes a super, super good wine. And I believe that he was telling us in episode 76 that they won some awards, both here in Texas and in California. I didn't actually see any of that on the website, but that kind of leads me to my next thing, is that the Hill family apparently has taken over this winery, and it's now called something else. It's called Berkeley Hill Vineyards. So they still have some of the Trilogy stuff for sale, and as Rowdy discussed in 76, he was bought out from it, and now he's starting his own place. And based on the quality of this wine, I'm actually totally stoked to get new stuff from Berkeley Hill Vineyards, but equally stoked to get the wines that Rowdy's going to be producing with his family at his new winery. And I mean, I can't get over how good it is. I really highly recommend trying to get a hold of it if you can. Like I said, the Malbec isn't on the Trilogy Cellars website anymore. Well, or actually, I guess it's the Berkeley Hill Vineyards website, but the Merlot is. So if you get an opportunity, swing over to that website and get it while the getting's good. One of the cool things about this bottle was that it was like a really thick, high quality bottle. Really kind of felt wealthy. It felt like it was done well. The labeling, you know, Mason and I are pretty big fans of the labeling, and the labeling is very, very clean. You can go on to the Tasting Anarchy Instagram and see a picture of it with the dog, of course, because I put my dog in everything. But also what was kind of cool about this bottle is it looks like maybe they were using it for Valentine's Day or something like that, because it has etched in the top "Be Mine" with little hearts on it. I thought that was cute. The other bottles don't have it, only this bottle did. So I think I'm going to save the bottle just because it's cute and funny. Let me tell you guys a little bit about the grape itself, because I don't think Mason and I have covered Malbec very much. It's one of the grapes that's used in Bordeaux blends, particularly on the right bank. So this is not one that you really see a lot in Medoc, but you would see it in other parts. I think Cahors region is where it's used mostly, and the reason for that is I guess there was a late frost many years ago, and it killed most of the Malbec in other areas, but in Cahors they replanted, and so they do still use it to blend. And they can blend it in other parts. That's one of the acceptable grapes, but it's kind of characteristic of the Bordeaux wines coming from Cahors. I think I'm saying that correctly. In another place, though, that it comes from is, well, it doesn't come from there, but it's planted very widely in Argentina. And Argentina, particularly Mendoza, is very well known for producing really good Malbec. I think I've had Malbec from Argentina, from Mendoza in particular, but I would have to go kind of back in our backlog and take a look at that. I think maybe I'll grab another bottle of it before I run out of these so I can kind of do a little comparison test, because I like to do comparison tests of places where the grape varietal is really famous, and then also from kind of side regions or underdeveloped regions like Texas where it's still up and coming. But if other farmers are producing what Rowdy is producing and what the Hill family and the Newsom family are producing, Texas has got, I mean, they're going to hit the scene big, because this is, I think is like I said, one of the best Texas wines I've had, and I think it's really telling of what you can grow and what quality you can get here. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what flavors you could normally expect from a Malbec, and it really depends on where you're getting it from. But typically fruits would be black cherry, pomegranate, plum, raspberry, blackberry, blueberry, and raisin. Other flavors would be cocoa, milk chocolate, coffee, mocha, molasses, leather, black pepper, green stem, gravel, and tobacco. If it's oaked, which I think they're mostly oaked, you're going to get maybe some vanilla, dill, coconut, chocolate, and mocha. The acidity is medium, and I would agree with that. I think that this one is pretty medium. The tannins, this one was a little bit more tannic, but it wasn't as tannic as like a Cab Sauv, but you're looking at like medium tannins. On Wine Folly, which Mason and I don't think have mentioned in a long time either, they're saying to serve it at slightly cool, so about 69 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius for you European listeners. They also list alternates, which are other full-bodied red wines. So they say other things that maybe are in this kind of region of what tastes similar would be Syrah, Torrega Nacional, which is that Portuguese one that I can never pronounce. Petit Verdot, Petit Syrah. Actually, they put Merlot here, which I thought that's interesting. I wouldn't put these two together. And Mourvedre, and there's a couple others that I don't care to try to pronounce. But yeah, and then it says blends, but blends that it's very commonly used in is Right Bank Bordeaux. That's usually Merlot. Petit Verdot, and so often Malbec. In Argentina, Malbec is occasionally blended with Bonarda, a regional red grape, also known as Douce Noir. So I didn't know that. That's interesting. I might try that. One of the cool things about Wine Folly is that they have these infographics a lot of times, and this one that they have here is showing what flavors you can expect based on the climate. Now, Texas, as you know, is very, very hot. and it shows that warmer climates are going to have blackberry flavor. I put that in my note that the very, very first fruit I listed was black cherry and blackberry. So that is, they go from the warmest of blackberry, plum, raspberry, black cherry. That's going from warm to cool. I said black cherry. I think that black cherry is closer to plum, not close. Well, actually, they've got black cherry over here in the cool. So, because I listed black cherry right up front. But I did think it was very blackberry-y. I don't want this infographic to alter my thoughts on it, but I did think it had a very strong black cherry flavor and blackberry flavor. And I agreed also with that, with the medium tannins, like I said, and it was a little hot. So that's really my review of Trilogy Cellars Reserve Malbec 2016. Outstanding Texas wine. Stay free, everybody.
When it gets drunk, start fighting all night. Knocking down windows and tearing down doors. Drinking half gallons and calling for more. Drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Pass that bottle to me. Hoy! Drink it, man. Oh, give me some of that slop. Oh, pass that bottle to me. If you want to get along in Peterstown, buy some wine and pass it around. Age runs up to 49. All them cats, they love sweet wine. Drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Pass that bottle to me. Hoy! Wine, wine, wine. Elderberry. Wine, wine, wine. Cherry, cherry. Wine, wine, wine. Blackberry. Wine, wine, wine. Port and sherry. Wine, wine, wine. Oh, pass that bottle to me. Now down on Gillsby at Willie's Den, he wasn't selling but American gin. One soldier wanted a bottle of wine. He hipped that cat for $1 and a dime. Drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Pass that bottle to me. Now I got a nickel, have you got a dime? Let's get together and get some wine. Somebody's fifth and somebody's fourth. When you get together, you're doing things smart. Drinking wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine. Wine, sporty, you to drink wine.